I got you. Yeah, I'm looking out behind you over here.
Yo, move back.
It's that side street that I'm more worried about over here. There we go. I'm gonna say that's it. Real fast. That tower up there, that just looks like something straight out of a scary ass movie. Can we just say that right now and agree on that one? Just saying. Yeah. Optically, though, it's.
They make him get this. That nigga got the boots on.
He said it's the Hood Olympics. Getting ready to sprint. I think he's back there stretching out his hamstring, getting everything. But you don't want to pull a hammy. That's for sure. Oh, there you go. There's always one straggler. Get a screenshot, y'all. Right there. Oh, you're golden. You're good. Come over there.
Oh, we gotta go back. We gotta move back.
Oh, coming on. All right, cool. Let's move back.
Move back. Everybody move back. Move back.
All right, that's a regular vehicle. We're good there. But yeah, they're hustling on that kettle though. They got the numbers to do it. If they wanted to swing around the far side, they could do that pretty easy. So everyone got to kind of look out for guys in from one of the side streets. I don't know if they're like saying that this is the.
If you're not doing anything wrong, you have nothing to hide, right? If you're not doing anything wrong, you don't have anything to worry about, right? That's what you tell us.
I got you.
You should be able to film me without you trying to block everything, right? You ain't doing nothing wrong. Why are you trying to block it, right?
You're in there. I got you.
Like we didn't pay for them body cams and their fucking collars and their uniforms. Bring them to the grand larceny.
So again, the issue, guys, out here, this started off as an organized protest march, or an organized march, escorted by the police, that made its way all the way back to downtown here. They hit the curfew at 8 o'clock. And they made announcements for about an hour, and then they brought out a wild amount of force. I mean, a couple hundred officers at least that came out with a mixed barrage of your riot police. You got your sheriffs from out of county. I heard that there was at least up to 10 different counties present today. And all of this is about body cam footage from an officer-involved shooting that took the life of Andrew Brown Jr. They allowed 20 seconds of that footage to be released, and they're not releasing any more of it up until the actual court date itself. 20 seconds of edited footage, to be clear. And at this point now, the issue that they've got is the family, friends, the community. Keep in mind, this is a community protest out here. Folks that are out here that know Andrew. We walked right by his house, actually. Neighbors and friends and family that just want answers. They want answers. They want to know what happened. They want the entirety of the story, and they want to, they want to know there's nothing being held. Keep in mind also a little fact: there have been 3 officers that have resigned, and I believe 7 that are on suspension right now in the wake of that shooting, without there even being any public awareness of the full entirety of the story. That should tell everybody something, that there is something more going on that we don't see. And
Bro, tell my people your live channel so they can also watch you.
okay, CJTV, CJTV Media.
Guys, this is CJTV. I've been seen everywhere now. Everywhere I went to, CJ.
Yeah, what's up, my man? How you doing?
CJTV.
Right here, this is the one, CJTV.
Y'all guys tune up on him too.
Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, yeah. Where can they find yours as well, man? Like, you want to be on cam?
I'm good.
Okay. You're welcome.
I just want my people to watch it. If I'm gonna go off, you know, my charge is not full.
You need a battery?
I'm good now.
Okay, let me know.
I'll let you know. Yeah.
I juiced up one that's got a little, at least enough to get you something.
All the black and brown bodies they done killed, they done put in prison for.
So
CJ, somebody was been
Let's not get started. It don't matter what you did.
I've seen you everywhere.
everywhere.
I think we started off Louisville.
Yeah,
Louisville. Gotta say that. Louisville. Louisville.
This guy really like tells the story. Says the facts, and that's it. He's not playing with it.
I appreciate you saying it. I think people are trying to, they got me confused in a lot of places, but they don't get it. They want to lump me into some odd category.
I've seen you work.
I appreciate it. Yeah, good looking. He got the ultimate setup. Not only did he get his shoes tight, but he's also ready on the sprinter. He's ready to rock and roll. What'd you call it? The Hood Olympics? Yeah, this is what I was talking about. This is the tight lace right here. This is what's going on. Like I said, you from here? Yeah. You were Drew's best friend? So tell us a little bit about Andrew. Okay. It's cool. It's cool.
Because it might be too controversial. And they want the sheriff to get a.
You hear what this guy's saying behind me, which is interesting, because that's one of those things to keep in mind is the body cam footage are not releasing because they said they didn't want it to taint the case. They said that they wanted to be able to keep it, and I don't know if they're using that because of the George Floyd case and how much publicity that had, and if that was a thought that it might have affected the jurors, if that's their thought. But in situations like this, you got requests from the community, family, and friends that for the last 9 days have been out in protest, just looking to have more than the 20 seconds of doctored body cam footage that they have released. But as you can see behind me, they've got a large force of people that are kind of pushing locals here back to their homes, as they said, back to private property, as it was mentioned by the captain of this crew down here. But that's the controversy right now that a lot of people have. Should all body cam footage be available to the public? I'm sure there's a lot of different opinions, but I know personally, if you look at it from a personal standpoint, if it was a person, my family, I would want to know in great detail what happened. So you can imagine that the folks in this community are feeling the same way. But the way that they've done it, I think, is just it opens the door for a lot of suspicion, and I think that's where so many people have issues right now, because it's been a 20-second clip without its entirety. Again, that itself is only going to show one small portion of what happened. But then there have also been subsequent statements that have been released by the police department about that incident that, again, are now giving that are tainting the view of it even more. So I'll show y'all what's going on over here. I don't even care. I'm wildly impressed. I have fallen off of every four-wheel vehicle I've ever gotten on. Good looking up. I appreciate you looking up. Sir. Yeah, no, I got it.
One of these boys might snatch that bitch and go. For fun.
Just done and done.
Dude, I was getting so nervous. That broke everything. Dude. I love that.
Yeah, totally. Here they go. Okay, everybody just blazed past him, and then my man just slowly rolled past. All right, here they go now. Oh, they're going to roll up on his van here. Here they go. They'll be pulling people out and arresting them now. clear. It's all clear now. I don't think so. So they snatched up the folks in the van. And again, you guys are watching CJTV Media right now. Just to be clear, if you're on Facebook watching that, any restreams right now that aren't on YouTube or Twitch, is this dude right here. Appreciate you guys jumping in. But you got, so again, to be clear, who's that? Ooh, got you, brother. Thank you. You've got, I mean, several hundred police behind me over here that are, they just pulled everybody out of that last van.
Okay.
So,
They pulled me out this motherfucker.
Jesus.
I'm getting ready to go back to my. I got
You see that front line back here? They've all got their zip ties in hands. They're ready to rock and roll. Oh, see now they got that side street down here. They're whipping up over there. Be careful on that one.
What?
Got them zipping up the side street over there too. I mean, I got to be just as careful as everybody, guys, because they'll snatch up anybody. So everybody's falling back pretty far here, but they still got a couple news or media folks up front there. I just want to make sure I got an out. Is this a cemetery? What? Wow, okay. Did they snatch up those guys down there?
Not the media guys.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's an old.
No, they're still on the sidewalk.
Oh man, damn. All right, well shoot. I'll get kettled in here. Yeah, me too.
Snatching nobody.
Oh, a couple people. I don't think these guys are gonna be the ones grabbing anybody though.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. That crew back there, however.
I don't know about them.
I don't-
They're moving. They're moving.
Are they?
Yeah, now.
Oh, those other guys, okay.
Fucking took them forever.
For real. Having a combo. Yeah, that's crazy.
They didn't even give them a chance to fucking move.
I wonder if that's the, I don't know if that's a news team or just independents.
Literally ain't nobody else out here but media and me.
And me. I'm amazed with the amount of officers that were actually came out for this. I mean, for all of the events I've been to, all the protests I've been to, I mean, for this small of a group to come out a couple hundred deep, I mean, it was damn near like an 8-to-1 ratio.
right next to me. They won't do anything. Everybody shields right here in the car in the bus.
Oh, they're disbanding now down there.
And for a while, those are all just uniform.
Gotcha.
No right here, nothing. So
Gotcha.
I think that's about it. I mean, everybody is left pretty much.
Right.
I'm just standing here left handed.
Whenever all of that shit clears out, I'll get you right back to the car.
I'm good. It's not that far.
Well, mine's just right there. I just gotta wait for them to.
Yeah.
Bro, fuck off. All the way.
I'm parked way back. I think I'm on this block, like way back down. Like,
I am like right behind where the line was.
oh, okay. You're all the way. Yeah, you're locked in. You're not going anywhere right now. You're not going
Like, I was
anywhere.
hoping, like I was hoping that they wouldn't come this far into the
I
community.
just looked at the map. I'm like 2 blocks down.
Yeah.
I was hoping they wouldn't come this far into the community.
Surprise,
These
surprise.
guys just don't care.
I'm glad they're not, it's not tear gas and whatnot, which is, I mean, when you come into these communities, I've seen it in so many different places.
I've
That,
never been hit with tear gas, but I've been right after.
You haven't. You're lucky. I've been hit
I
with,
know.
man.
I've been,
I'll tell you what's almost worse, man, is the pepper spray. When they tag you with that, their big can spray, because you can't get it out. Like,
yeah.
it's in your tear ducts. It's in there. It gets in your sinuses.
If
These
they
tear,
get you with the gel,
Yeah.
that's the one that literally sticks to you.
yeah. That CS gas they were using in Portland was pretty crazy, though. Like, that stuff, like, I got hit. Oh, yeah. I'm from Seattle. So I was all through the Northwest, but
I
like,
just,
They were using CS in Wilmington.
I keep
Yeah.
fucking just
I
like
saw it.
every other week. I just want to like drop everything and just go to Portland.
there's a lot going on up there in Seattle, Portland.
Portland has been going nonstop.
Yeah.
Every fucking day. Since
Yeah.
Everything started last year.
Yeah.
Like I got so much respect for them folks out there.
I'm telling you, man, like, it was crazy when they had the federal agents in town, because that was the craziest experience. I mean, I'm talking hundreds of flashbangs, like all night, like 10 bangers, like 9 bangers, whatever they call them, like just boom, 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 tear gas. Like, they were lobbing them from like 2 blocks. They were hitting those canisters, just leaning back and launching them.
Mhm.
And I'm talking in the condominiums. Like,
Yeah.
it was insane, man. Like, I was telling the stream about it earlier, and like, everybody, there was not a single person didn't get stomped on by at least 1 or 2 of the federal agents. I got hit in the face by one with his baton. Like, I was helping pick up a guy who was unconscious, and I look up and he just swung down and cracked me right across my gas mask. I was just like, it was in front of a 7-Eleven, like 3 blocks away from the federal building.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, what is going on, man? And they grabbed the dude by his leg and he drug him out of the street and just dropped him. I was like, man, that's crazy.
I stayed watching Portland. I stayed watching Minneapolis. I stayed watching.
Yeah.
All of them. Like
It was
I was in Charlotte all last year, so
okay.
thing popped off there May 29th, like 4 days after Minneapolis,
Yeah.
and like the day they burned down the 3rd precinct.
Yeah.
Me and my homegirl were watching it live, and we were like, "Fuck it, we're packing the Jeep and we're just going to fucking Minneapolis." And then that was the same day that everything popped off in Charlotte, so we were like, "Fuck, all right, I guess we'll do that here." And then we were there, like the RNC came and they like super fucked us up. It was hard. It was bad. It was bad.
Yeah.
Stuff was there, and they had to make a show.
Yeah, those RDTs, man, those rapid deployment teams are nuts, man. Like, they're just like the super troopers that come out, and they were just, I'm watching them drop kick like the wall of moms. Remember that in Portland?
Yes.
I watched the dude right beside me. He came up and just straight Spartan to chick in the sternum, and I was like, oh my god, that's someone's mother. You can't kick a mom. That's against the rules of life.
So those were what we had nonstop in Charlotte for like 2 months, 3 months, 2.5
The like
months.
rapid deployment team guys. Yeah.
Nonstop, and they rolled. Like I had to like pause the little 20-second video for this area because they rolled around like those dudes rolled up on ground
Oh, the body snatchers
in the back of the truck.
Oh, okay. Oh, like the jump out vans. Yeah, where they just hold on to the railing.
Yep.
The
They
stuff,
rolled around,
man. Yeah.
all like fucking cross streets, every street you would just see trucks stacked with bodies in the back,
Like
and
18 people just hanging off the back.
Yep.
You know what's crazy? You got to Portland and it got to the point where you'd show up and you just follow one. You see one, you just go follow them. You knew where they were.
Yeah.
They'd end up where one of the crowds were. It was wild, man. And then we had it on film. We had the body snatchers, which were crazy. If you saw those, the feds when they first got there.
The ones in the black vehicles.
The minivans, yeah, the rental vans. Man, the first time it happened, I swear to God, we got it on film. I was talking to my crew, and I'm watching these guys down the street, and they all kind of like broke down, and two of them took off running. And this one guy he kind of just froze in the headlights, and the minivan came down, flipped at you in the intersection, so he's going the wrong way on a one-way. And four guys in fatigues hopped out. They pulled his shirt up over his head, and they threw him in the back of the van, and then they sprinted off down that one way. And all of us just kind of like, what the hell did we just witness, man? Like, no cuffs, nothing. And then we just started seeing those guys. They would run the perimeter like sharks, and they'd find people and snatch them up, and like they wouldn't come back. We don't know where they went. No, I mean, we heard some like they got released. They were like, no, they go to, there's like an underground entrance that goes into the federal building. And they would take them down through that. They'd take them into the building, search them, question them, photograph, ID them, get them all logged in, and then sometimes release them into the wild or keep them in holding. And then they gave them crazy sanctions. They're like, you're not allowed to be around the protest. If you're within like so minutes, like a proximity of these federal buildings, like you're going to be in violation of whatever probation they put them on. I don't know, but that was crazy to me. Like watching people get snatched off the street. I was just like, dude, this is like, and they were in minivans, like rental vans from like Avis, like Enterprise rental car. I mean, not that I'm talking bad about Enterprise, even though you guys charge me $85 a day for my damn car, which is unacceptable. I'm gonna say that right now. You can't charge someone $300 for 2 days of rental just because I got your insurance too, people. Come on, Enterprise, help me out a little bit, man.
That shit was wild. Just watching that.
Messed up.
I still want to roll out the Portland.
It's
like everything keeps happening out here. Fucking Virginia's had 3 in the last month.
What's been going on in Virginia?
Isaiah Brown.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
The lieutenant in the army who got fucked up at a gas station. There was one more. I can't remember.
Virginia's close.
Yeah.
Virginia's a lot closer than where I came in from because I got Elizabethtown in my head. So when I planned my trip, I planned it to go to Elizabethtown, which is only 2 hours from Charlotte.
Yeah.
So no, and then as I'm getting on the plane, I'm like, it's Elizabeth City. And I told my stream already, I was like, Elizabeth City. And then I Googled it, and I was like, it must be close to Elizabeth. No, it's not. So I'm getting on the plane, I'm like, that was a 5.5 hour drive. I was like, damn it, I picked the wrong side of the state. Yep. It'd have been better for me to fly in like Baltimore and drive down. It still would have been an hour less drive. So I'm seeing this all on the plane as I'm looking at it. I'm like, I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot.
A few weeks ago, Virginia Beach Police Department killed an unarmed man. No body cameras, no witnesses, no video footage of anything.
Yeah.
They're still being cagey about that. There was like 3 incidents that whole night. There was like a shootout between unrelated people, but 2 of the cops that responded to that went like 1 block over, killed a guy who wasn't part of it.
Really?
Wasn't a suspect, wasn't suspected of anything, just like they shot him.
Wow.
And they're refusing to like be transparent, they're refusing to answer any questions, or anything. I mean, like this dude was like well known, Donovan Lynch, well known guy. And
that's wild,
man.
So is it the body cam footage thing? And I'm curious. I know a lot of people are asking me. Is that common practice for them to withhold body cam footage, unless it's like a murder case or something along those lines?
I don't know. I feel like it's based on the area, the jurisdiction, the department, whatever, the county. Like some of them, like the Micaiah Bryant footage, they released that immediately, as immediately as we can hope for.
Right.
But like almost as soon as it happened, like a day later, they released it. Other places they'll hold on to it, and then like here they'll be.
This one right here is really just odd. Like the way they've done it, like they leaked a 20-second, like kind of edited version of, or edited portion.
Absolutely edited.
Of the body cam footage, and they haven't released its in entirety. But you've already had officers that have been suspended and that have resigned over that incident, and it blows my mind to think that like whatever's on there has to be a pretty incriminating situation. If officers have already been like, I'm leaving, and been put on leave.
And for the sheriff to be like, oh well, body cams are shaky and they're not always reliable. Like, bro, no, that's not the case.
Even if they were more reliable than nothing.
There it is.
Like,
that's the thing. Is you guys, any camera is better than no camera, right?
Like they are shaky, but literally every single body cam footage we've seen, yes, it's been shaky, but guess what? We can still tell what happened.
Sure.
We can still see what happened.
Right.
People watch movies. Movies, they shake the camera to give you the effect.
I'm shaking you guys right now. You still see me?
Exactly. So like that whole bullshit is serious. I'm like, bro, I'm a fucking photographer and videographer. Like, that's bullshit. Anyone with any bit of common sense knows that's bullshit.
Yeah.
And so, sorry for cussing. I don't know if you're online.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's fine. You're fine, man.
Oh,
We're all grown ups here. We're all grown ups.
But like,
Yeah. I was saying now we can walk back.
yeah. But
So we've just been killing time, guys, because everyone's been gone, but all of us ended up parking. Me and these gentlemen
they did?
are parked down on the other side of what was the police line here.
I
So
didn't know that.
Yeah, they're open today.
I've literally been here all day.
Yeah, I was driving up to Alpha.
wrap up this tripod of mine.
Yeah, I got the notification when I was driving up there. We saw the names of the officers involved.
Shit, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look into that.
Yeah, I don't know who I reported right now. CBS.
What is that? We got Wendy's?
Yeah, but
I heard them say they got Wendy's, which I'm not going to lie, actually sounded real appetizing at the
I'm
moment.
really hungry because I didn't eat today. Like,
Right?
I had planned to be here early, so I was like, I'm gonna just get some food when I get into town. And then I got caught up
that was
not doing shit, and so I like left, and I didn't have enough time.
That was yesterday for me because I'm not from here. I'm a fucking student.
I was on a plane from Seattle up until
I came
this morning.
from Chapel Hill.
Chapel Hill, where's that?
Up by Raleigh.
Yeah,
Came
Raleigh.
from Chapel Hill the day before yesterday.
I wish I had a phone in Raleigh.
Got into here.
Yeah,
Got into here at 2 a.m. Woke up at 4 to drive here. Done about
Okay.
half an hour sleep. Drove here. Got here at 6. And I was here until
How far is Raleigh from here?
about. Raleigh's probably 2.5 hours.
Oh, 3 hours better than where I'm from.
Yeah, Chapel Hill's 3, and it's about 40 minutes out of Raleigh. So.
all last year. I was in Charlotte for all of last year, so everything happened there, and I ended up meeting another team of medics, who street medics. And we all treated the same guy with his seizure. Like we were all. It had like he had a seizure right in the middle of all of us. And so we all just like stopped and like treated this dude. And we were like, "Oh hey, you actually know what you're doing. Cool."
What's the
And
protest
so-
community like out in this area? Because tonight, what I saw, just to give you what I'm curious about, is this was more community. This was more.
Exactly.
It wasn't really
That's
block.
been
It
here
was.
the days I've been here.
Exactly. So thus far, it's been spontaneous community showing up and showing out for the community.
And a
Right.
huge focus on staying peaceful.
Yes.
So you don't see in a lot of other cities here.
Yeah, and you don't see that many places around the nation. Like most places I'm at, you got people like there's always a couple people in a crowd that might otherwise be peaceful, and then like a windows start getting smashed, and it's like immediately everyone's
There
implicit.
was, people who came from Raleigh today. So you could tell there was a divide there.
Really?
The people, I don't know what group they're with. They got had the hammer and sickle sign.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah, I know them from Raleigh, but every time I come out, everyone's super block media.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know who they're with, but
I mean, we've all like run into each other at various protests all throughout the state.
I know
Sure.
half the people here. And I haven't covered this shit for that long because school. What you can do.
I mean, you go to enough of these things and you end up knowing everybody.
Yeah,
I ran into like 15 fucking people here.
I've run into a couple people that I've seen all across the nation, from Seattle to DC, Louisville, Minneapolis, all over, Kenosha, like anywhere. Like,
I saw a couple people here that I followed online.
right.
You know.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah.
That's great. Are you guys gonna be out here tomorrow?
Probably.
I'm going to be out here through Sunday.
Okay.
Depending on how tomorrow goes, I may not come out Saturday. It's just going to be same shit.
Right.
Because I got to drive an hour and a half each way. So
Don't rub it in, man. I got a 5.5 hour drive and an early flight on Saturday. This guy said he has no Mayday. I'm gonna be back in Seattle for Mayday.
I'm trying to come out Monday if I can for the
But Mayday. Hey guys, I'm a jam again.
Yeah. What's your
CJTV. Yeah, real simple. CJTV Media. You'll see a guy with a big face like mine. Yeah, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. Yeah. All right, guys, we'll catch you. All right. All right. Later, y'all. Have a good night. Appreciate what y'all were saying earlier. Well, yeah, I'm still live right here. You guys want to talk to me a little bit? Oh, it's on me right now.
Fuck the police. I said, at the same time, to come right here, you know. At the same time, on the yeah, man, we live here. We've been here for years. I got the old whip.
It's on me. You're good.
I got the old whip. That from right here from the little house, baby, that thing down with the song. You got it running. You been hoping I got it running. We get up there, man.
I got you.
I got the proclamation of emancipation.
Well, that's what I'm here to do. Hear voices.
I got the proclamation of emancipation.
I got you. Yeah, I got you.
I got the old whip. They used to hit our ancestors with.
Yeah.
Oh, gee, man, Elizabeth City, see the street. That's why everybody was in the behind. You know what I mean? Pretty much not just to stop traffic, but to express what they had, I mean, pretty much inside, the hurt and the pain and feel.
Right.
You know, and then I think now back in the days when right there on 17, right there at Duck Road, before you get there, the lot there Mill Farm Road. Okay. But all our ancestors just came across that way.
Yeah.
Some went through the swamp, some ventured off, went the other way. Who got stopped on that road? You know what I mean? And who got stopped? Maybe got stopped at that intersection. Who got stopped at the intersection and maybe there was ventured somewhere else.
Sure.
You know,
put us on the map, man. Cause this shit is sad,
that's
man.
why they
got you.
And that's why they stopped off on the Pond. I mean, that's the one I was thinking. I believe. And that's why they got out. But once again, it's heritage.
Yeah.
That's our heritage. And we had a guy speak the other day. You know, and once again, 100 man. That man is 100%.
I heard that you put a powerful speech out there. Yeah.
Great facts.
Yeah.
You know, nothing said it was a lie.
Yeah.
You know. And that's one thing right here. When you tell
Yeah, boy. It's our hood. When you tell the truth, fuck town, baby.
That's when, you know, but when you tell the truth, that's when everything else goes on, you know, on the
Come on, man. Hey, get us up there.
We're out there, yeah.
We up here, man. Elizabeth City, man.
But they don't know the real truth. That's why everybody's doing everything that they're doing.
Yeah.
You know, they understand what I see, what I said. You know what I mean? So, my woman, the baby government, she's in the house. She's over there, so.
Yeah, that's how far, man. Come on, man. Hell no, don't put me in.
She's on the floor.
Give me the history of the place right now.
Yeah. Like now, it's like you have this going on. It's coming right here.
Yeah. And
when I said what I said, they're right here, they're in my backyard.
I like what you had to say. Like you were talking a lot about the community and how that's what it comes down to right now.
If we want to do something, we would have been around this town.
Right.
From the first day. From the first day.
You mind being on camera?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been here for 7 years, right? We all there. I don't care what they say.
Yeah.
This is a racist community.
Okay.
I've come from, and when I say when it's a racist community, I come from a state that's one of the racist states in America.
Right.
But I'm going to tell you something. When you come down to breaking news of Elizabeth City, or you come to these little pages that they have in Elizabeth City, this is a racist ass little town. They try to say, oh, I'm proud of my town. I'm proud of my city. But when it comes down to it, this is racist. And this is a racist medicine. Because I come from somewhere that is much more racist. Where they come from. But people that is from around here, they don't see it because they're used to it.
Right.
So I come from somewhere else. And I see where the racists come into it. And I realize that to you, what the ones that are watching this right here, you are the ones that are the racist people. Like, yes, we are holding this community down. You know what I'm saying? No racism, no rioting, no looting, no nothing is going on. We keep it now. There's nothing that's going on. But what I am saying that is that we as a community saying that, oh, we holding this down now. No, there's people behind us that is saying that, hey, we are doing a good job, right? We are doing a good job. But guess what? They want to sit behind the phone saying that we're doing a good job. They are not out here with us. You know what I'm saying? And then it's something that said that we ought to write a note to this. What have you seen?
None. Nothing. Nothing.
None of that, right?
No.
So that's my go back to my point. Is that we are trying to make a point. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate you sharing it, man. Thank you very much. What you got right here? You got a whip?
Hey, please don't. Come on, man. What
Are you good?
Where they do this at, though?
This right here.
Yeah, it's Elizabeth City.
Yeah.
So where we get this from?
That's it.
I broke it earlier. I broke it earlier. You know, that's how real it is.
This is
This right here.
sorry about the bright light, but I just want to be able to see it. Sorry.
This is our ancestors.
Yeah, let me step back so you can see this.
We hold it, but this right here, we hold this hotel thing right here. With this handle, with our ancestors for years and years and years, right here in Elizabeth City, North Carolina.
And look at they don't kill my boy, and then where we at? Looking at it like what?
Like it's
On
nothing.
TV. Like
You sit back
what?
and take it. It's like, oh yeah, it's nice, good
The
stuff.
whole
good
SWAT
handle.
team comes
Something taking half.
take us down
We got something taking half.
in the night.
But
Why?
this right here is history.
Advertising our
Right here, Elizabeth City, North Carolina.
Yeah.
This is
Oh,
Elizabeth City, North Carolina heritage.
12.
This is not from no other state. This is not from Virginia. This is not from West Virginia. This is from Elizabeth City, North Carolina.
Yeah.
You see it? A whip.
That's wild. So you're saying that, like your man was saying that you deal with the
I got-
down there.
I had the
Weedsville.
Proclamation of Emancipation.
I went to
Everything.
school down there.
okay.
This right
Man.
here is our heritage. They said when they took our people, and I don't have the beard.
Brother,
man.
Oh, you're fine, man. We're all grown ups here. We're okay.
This
We just
right
being
here
real.
is
This is really real.
heritage.
Yeah.
Like you just go.
What story do you think that tells right now? Like, what do you think that says? No, not that one, but I mean, for what does that represent today for you?
Today, for me, this right here represents that pretty much everything is still going on. They're still going on that same judgment as they did in those days.
Mm.
You know, the Proclamation of Emancipation, all that stuff doesn't mean anything.
Mm.
You know, they got their judgments, they have their statements, everything, whatnot. But they always take that and go beyond the fact of what's really going on. You know, they always sugarcoat a lot of things right here in Elizabeth City.
Mm.
You know, and right now it's like, finally, we got somebody to come here. It's like, please.
And almost see what's
It's almost
going
like
on.
it's almost like
around. It's been going on for years.
it's almost like a please.
Yeah.
It's like, please, somebody come here. You know what I mean? And now they come out standing, what they do? Right.
Yeah.
Nobody doing anything.
Yeah.
So I had to say what I had to say, you know, I mean, for the fact because they're pretty much right here in my backyard.
Yeah.
You know,
You were talking about there was like some elderly folks that live in these buildings here, and
everybody
all around here, like
And she's
We
here.
right downtown,
Yeah.
right there. We
Right
live
here.
here. We've been here 20
Yeah.
years or more.
yeah,
Older people over here. This is the older community right here.
yeah.
We here. We've been here.
Why
Yeah.
do they need
This is our
with
street.
riot gear and
I
all
was
stuff
I
like
can't believe how much law enforcement I saw come out.
Yeah, they
And-
come across. They ain't never come across this way.
Yeah.
that? They came right here. They didn't come back to trade.
Oh, they ain't never come up? No, yeah.
I saw them. They were up. They were looking in all these windows and whatnot. Like,
When I said what I
We don't
said,
need that. Don't worry about
when I
that.
said what I said, they came up a little bit
You wanna make sure you
because
put us out there, bro.
well, you're out there. I guess.
Us. I want to be up here. I think I'm gonna go out there.
They did not
Yeah, nothing.
any further. They
Yeah.
got their buses and they got on their bus.
Yeah.
Because they heard my message.
Came and joined into
Yeah, the buses go right down there.
Like what?
At the same time, you heard my
But
backyard.
we trying to protest to find out where the tapes at, man. Come
Yeah.
on, bro.
Yeah.
Who is not obligated to that?
That's right. If it would have been anybody else.
Yeah.
You got kids. I got kids.
Right. Right.
Now, why could they show the whole footage of George Floyd right there the whole time, every day? Every day, you sit back and take
Man,
some
put us out
whole
there, man,
footage.
for real.
Every second of the footage for George Floyd.
Yeah.
But now we can't just see the whole footage of what happened to Andrew Brown.
And it so happened that
Is that so
happened
much to
the
ask?
day
Right.
after the person that was prosecuted about doing
Yeah.
that
Right.
happened the day after.
Yeah.
And Andrew, he's local here. Like you said, he's like lives right around here, not too far. We went right by his house earlier.
We had a guy there sit back and forth casting out today.
I ain't even gonna talk about my charges
Right.
that I had that, you know what I mean, that was, let's just say, unjustified, but you know what I mean, at the end of the day, you know, they limit us to plea and, you know, and all that, and we take that.
We take what he gives us.
Oh, they forced the plea.
I've been
Yeah,
at
absolutely.
Walmart for 6 years, my dude. I've been at Walmart for 6 years.
Yeah.
I can't even get benefits or 401k, and I get no more than that each and every day.
Yeah.
So how long we would
But then I represent Elizabeth City.
To let somebody put something else on our plate.
And then the charge came from Dare County. Where the
Let me ask you guys, what's it going to take to make that change?
I want to talk to the president. Can I talk to him?
I don't know him like.
I don't
So.
know. I want to talk to him.
Right.
But
he already trying to ban cigarettes and shit, and we got motherfuckers unjustifiably killed over here in Elizabeth City, North Carolina, that nobody really ain't paying no attention to. And it's been going. It's been crooked. Like I said, I got charges of being crooked, but I mean, it's all good. I took the plea, I guess, or whatever it was that you got to do around it.
Right.
And it's sad.
I lost my brother
that
3 years ago.
Even over a dope charge, you ain't in just because you might have been in a situation, man. These officers justify you and how you take a plea.
So what? Let me ask you guys this too. You said talked about children. What advice would you give your children right now to help make a change so we don't have to think about whips being a part of a future that they would understand?
To be honest, excuse me.
That needs to be there. He's the best officer. For one, that needs to always sit back and be there. Because in the history books, they always sit back and take every year you go to school. They couple of years they keep switching the books, switching the books. They want you to know what they want you to know, and they want to wait till you get older to find out the other things. But everybody needs to know life right there as it is. And if you keep going through life and not figuring out life here, there, you just keep jumping from here to over there, then back to here, and then back to there, and try to sit back and tell somebody, say, I told you this is like, well, you told me that this wasn't supposed to happen, but it happened, and they keep jumping from this, that to there. And what else? Once again, I say for that, they just need to sit back and take and justify everything, get everything. Everybody just need to figure out, for one, what they want in life. You know what I mean? And that's the one. Figure out what's the one in life. I mean, everything that happened in life will always be there. But history and all that should not be just taken and put on the windmill. Just
to be justified about the situation.
Okay.
You got to think about it like this. How is this? It's hurting our kids. I found like now the schools are shut down. Now they want to take it like our protest about what's going on, and that's where it's really like it's not us. It's like it's not just benefiting the black community because it's the white community. We can't even go to school. We were doing virtue and regular school too. But now you can't even do that. Now because we got prosecutors trying to exercise they their rights to vote. I mean not vote, but as in the stomping up. But but at the end of the day, it's so sad that we really do. You got kids and I got kids.
I don't have no children.
I work.
I heard mention the kids. He said,
I don't have no kids.
Right. I just know I don't answer the phone on Father's Day. I don't know what's happening.
I do.
That's an unidentified number that I'm not picking up.
Imagine trying to take them. Imagine trying to take them. To the community or regardless of a family or just anybody individual died to the community because of injustice crime that's like this. And I wouldn't know. I had voted when I was very young, and it didn't even account for. It didn't even count for it, but I was in the paper
But
about voting. But my vote didn't
The
even
person
count.
that didn't win, that you wanted to win, didn't win.
oh, there you go. That's a good question. Like, did your vote not count because you didn't win, or
not win.
right?
That's what I'm
How do you
trying to
feel
know.
right now about the first 100 days of Biden's presidency? What do you think?
I mean, I didn't even vote.
What do you think about the president right now, though?
I think he's supposed to have some, integrity to have something to talk about this. I mean, even though you might not say
Emphasis on the wrong syllables.
Nobody else is, different crowd, but this is my city, so you need to stand up, bro.
I said the wrong thing because I know you want to talk to the president. I mentioned the president. I don't think he's watching. I don't think he's watching right now. But hey, Biden, if you're watching, my man had something I want to say to you. So
And please don't forget Maul G. But anyway, I ain't gonna tell you wrong or nothing like that.
yeah. Well, I'm gonna let it before my man gets thinks he's a little uncomfortable there. But hey, guys, I really appreciate you talking. I love what you had to say about community.
You gonna put us out there?
For real, absolutely. Let people know that Elizabeth City here is, it's beautiful people and a beautiful place. You know what I mean? I appreciate you taking the time. All right, sure.
You know what I mean? And I say, but at the same time, we don't need nobody else to come from another state. So they can speak for us. I mean, we know what happens here.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. Good luck.
Yeah. And this is something for years.
Yeah, for real. All right, man. Y'all be good. Take it easy. That one cat behind him was not happy. He didn't want us talking. No, but now I saw a comment came through that said it's throwing down. Are you saying it's going down? Is there something cracking off up here? I don't know. We'll find out. I'm gonna walk up here and see what's up. I hope they don't try to snatch me up. I'm just gonna have to let them know, like, man, my car is parked. Honestly, I don't even know where my car is parked. Yeah, hey, for real. Right off the bat here, I want to let my mods know how much I appreciate you guys being solid today. In the last couple of days, I know it's been choppy and we've had a lot going on, and we got a lot more to go too. So, thank you for all your hard work and for everybody that's been in with me. We got some good numbers today, and I really appreciate you guys sharing the stream. That means a lot. For those of you that jumped over and became supporters, thank you very much there too. Tammy over on Twitch running those hype trains. That's incredible. Much love to the Twitch squad and YouTube. I'm not forgetting about you all Facebook. It's okay. I'm still with you. It's crazy. The streets are dead now. Like, it's like eerie quiet right now. Those cicadas, is that what I'm hearing? I don't know much about the country, but cicadas. I'll say that, man, that's crazy. Like, down the block over here, they've got a van and a squad car that are like pacing me as I walk. I just don't know where I parked. Like, I had no clue where my car is. So I'm gonna wander for a minute and try to figure that out. The city, man, though, it's cool. I mean, the old structures here are beautiful. I mean, it's like everything about this place is historic. That whip that he showed us was wild, man. Like it looked old too. He said that was an artifact from the history right here in North Carolina. Talking about, like he said, as he said, the whips that cracked his ancestors. I mean, for people that, maybe wouldn't know, haven't been around, I guess, the South or whatnot, maybe don't appreciate that. Like, what he's talking about is very real, and that's a real part of the American history that, like he mentioned, a lot of times we don't talk about. And honestly, I'd be curious to sit in on a current, like, American history classes that are being taught in elementary school and in junior high and high school. I know when I was a kid, it was like, pilgrims, so we talk about pilgrims. And honestly, that's about all I remember from American history from being a little kid. But then it was more world history stuff when you get older. But even that seemed like it was a little bit of a narrated viewpoint. Man, man, there are police everywhere, just scrolled around all the corners. I'm gonna do my best to not get picked up by anybody. Like this squad car that's hauling butt right now. Yee. Check some of the comments here. Sorry. Boom, here we go. Where's everybody in here watching? I know I'm East Coast time, so it's only 8 o'clock back home. Still early yet on a Thursday night. All my Midwest folks, what's up? Kenosha and everyone else in the Milwaukee area, what up? It's crazy how many familiar faces I see out here in every different state that I've been in. There's some places, some people that I see, like almost you can count on almost seeing it. It's cool because they got your back, you know. Like at one point, I wasn't paying attention to the police line that was kind of coming in from the side, and a dude that I met in Louisville, I came up and kind of grabbed my backpack and started pulling me back. He's like, "Hey man, you got to check your perimeter over here." And good thing he did, because I mean they were snatching people up, and they weren't even pulling punches for press. Old boy that said he was man, he said he was pressed to talk to the captain of the police line over there, and they he's like, "You got 2 seconds to disperse, or I'm going to arrest you." And you guys saw it on the, if you watch back on the film, like actually my film cut out right there, so it was probably the tail end of the last clip. He, you know, unsnapped his zip ties and started going at him. And he said it was because he asked him a question. He asked him how he felt about it happening. All this happened in his city. So he was obviously local PD, and man, it sucks being out here like lone wolf in it, like walking the streets, because like back here, I don't know, but I'm about to find out if that's a police vehicle or not. We'll see in a second. Nope. They all kind of look alike though, don't they? I'm gonna have to like reverse engineer this entire march from today. So I don't know where I'm at. The waterfront here is incredible. If you guys didn't see that when I first started, the first shot from the first clip was amazing, man. These inlets are beautiful. Like they got kind of a bayou vibe, like up on the shoreline, but then you get then they sprawl out quite a bit. But you're still tons of police. I mean, mostly every car you're seeing is zipping up and down every street. Oh, right there. Just gotta figure out where I'm at. And another one right there. Oh, here we go. They're walking up on me now. Just give them the old, yo, yes sir nod. Sir, good day. Good day. Here, car. Where'd you park? I think it was a church parking lot. I think I'm gonna have to find one of these policemen and ask them which way the march went today. Oh man, I'll be out here walking all night. What do you guys think though? What did you so for everyone, I'm curious, the people that expected it to turn into a riot or into a de-evolve into a window breaking session of anarchy. What are your takes now? Hopefully that opened up some people's eyes to the difference in these protests, you know what I mean, in the marches and some of the movements that you see. Not all of them are direct action. And by direct action, of course, I mean the ones that were, they're, wait, hey, we're winning. Direct action ones where they have a plan to actually go and do something along those lines. Something destructive to elicit some response from the police. Man. It's been a long couple of weeks, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Like all this trekking around the country is tiring. Sleeping in airports, the trunk of cars, no jokes. Slept in the trunk of my rental car the other day in Minneapolis because it was too late to check into a hotel and I had to fly out early. So I was like, man, I got like 3 or 4 hours. I was gonna sleep in the back of this car, but I couldn't fit in the back seat, so I had to climb in the trunk. And some guy woke me up. He came up to the car and he knocked on the window. He's like, sir, this is private property. You can't park here. And I was like, oh man, I'll leave. I'm good. And so he's like, do you need a hand? And I was like, yeah, you can pop that trunk for me. And I was just joking. But he legit reached in the car, opened the front door and popped the trunk. And I was like, well, the trunk's open. I'm not going to not use the trunk. So I climbed out of the trunk and I looked over and there was like 6 or 7 people getting ready to go into work for that building. And they were all just kind of like, the hell? This 250-pound grown man just peeled himself out of the trunk of a vehicle. And so and I went to the airport. What's up, boss? What's going down? Cool. But man. Boy. Oh, that's insane. I mean, some people are just drunk out. Y'all, they're getting it. It's Thursday night, right? Thursday night. Ooh-wee. All right. I'm gonna pull the camera off here real quick. Get in the car here. Found it. I'm amazed. Legit, I didn't think I was gonna find it. Careful now. Careful. All right. It's night and day for Minneapolis, y'all. Seriously. My goodness. It was, you see, I'm still sweating. It's got to be, I mean, it's not crazy hot out right now, but it was earlier, you know. Police are just like 1 cop, 2 cop, 3 cop, 4 everywhere. But yeah, interesting day. So to kind of cap on what happened today, the march, just so everybody knows, this march was about Andrew Brown Jr., who was shot by the police. And in the wake of that, the follow-up to that, the real issue right now is that the body cam footage hasn't been released in its entirety. Just a 20-second doctored version of that body cam footage. There have been 3 officers that have resigned, and I believe 7 that are on suspension. And there's 10 officers involved that right now are involved in some type of disciplinary action and or, like I said, resignation. That being said, this march was organized and approved. So they had a protest permit to actually march today. And what that means is where a lot of people were confused because they're talking about people that are blocking traffic and whatnot. That was meant to happen. They had a police escort front, back, and side to side. And when you get those protest permits, that's what'll happen. They do that to protect the people from vehicles that might come in, crash in on people. So they made their way from, honestly, I don't know where they started because I was just getting my camera set up and they walked right behind me. Like, oh man, well, that's happening right now. So hopped in back around to the courthouse where they had police on the roof. And at first it was blasé. I'm glad I stuck around because I thought it was going to be a pretty, just like a walk-off night. But it ended up being a massive sign of force. And I say massive because if you look at it compared to the amount of people that were there, it blew my mind. I mean, it was like an 8 or 10 to 1 ratio for, and if we were talking about non-press related people, non-press, just people that were there to part of that protest, that march, maybe 15, maybe 20 people, maybe. And of that you had, I mean, just blew my mind, like 200 officers at least, you know, mixed enforcement agencies. There was sheriff, there was SWAT, state patrol. They had apparently they had up to 10 different 10 different counties that were here, and they're still just bombing down the streets here. They were here for this to enforce this. Now Elizabeth City is a small city. The actual number, let me check. I mean, the population here is not there's not that many people here comparatively to a lot of the other cities around here, but it's not exactly on a beaten path. I mean, this is from where I came. It's about 5.5 hours from Charlotte. It's about 2.5 hours from Raleigh. A couple hours from Norfolk. I'm saying that wrong, I'm sure. But then again, I say Louisville, Louisville, and I'm okay with saying that because I'm okay with that. Anyone from Louisville, my apologies. But so Elizabeth City has a population. Let me grab that real fast. I'm sure one of you has already got it. Population of Elizabeth City is only 17,000 people in 2019. So, I mean, whatever. It's probably, you know, gone up. Let's give it a couple thousand more. So we'll give it 20,000 people. It's a small city. I mean, even the ratio of cop to population is insane. That blows my mind. But and they issued a few targeted arrests, and they weren't even all that targeted. Basically, it was just anybody who was straggling that was left out on the road. And most of those folks were out there, and they were okay with it. You know, they kind of like let themselves be sacrificial lamb, if you will. What's interesting is it rubbed off. It's all gone now. But I had a number right here for an attorney's office, 252-678. You're staying in jail would be the last 4 digits, because I didn't. They had a bail already set up. They had a bond ready to go for anyone that was arrested tonight that was there at the protest. And they said that you don't owe them anything. You don't owe them anything back. They just ask that you show up to court and can keep the ball rolling. And so I think it's a sign of support, which is great that they're like, you know, we're out here to support these people because the cause was valid, you know. And it wasn't a destructive march. Keep that in mind too, guys. We're not talking about a you know, like a window smashing session or people that are you know, terrorizing parked cars or doing anything crazy. It was nothing like that at all. Nothing like that at all. It was a very peaceful march, very respectful march. They stopped a couple times, gave some speeches, and it was what you want to see. And we walked right past Andrew Brown Jr.'s house. Actually, they're painting a mural on the side of the house, so it's pretty dark now. It's crazy. Here, I'll show you guys if we get a chance to see it. Oops, no, you can't see them. But they got pickup trucks over here just loaded with police that are just driving around. There's like 6 cops in the back of a pickup truck just sitting in there. 1, 2, 3 SUVs, a squad car, another squad car going the other way. It's nuts. There's the paddy wagon that they pulled out too. Man, I gotta show you guys. This is nuts. They keep coming. So there's the paddy wagon, or the like, I don't know if it was a prisoner transport or an officer transport, but they had also like the ones that just drove by. I guarantee if I hold this up for 10 seconds, we're gonna see at least 2 squad cars that'll fly by here. But the curfew that they put in play is from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. And I'm just gonna put this back up here. Sorry, 1 second. Yeah. Interesting night though. Questions though, anybody? Norfolk is correct. Okay. I don't know if maybe someone's saying that and that's not really correct, but if that's the case, my bad. Why am I so concerned, John? Because it's incredible the sign of force that we're seeing out here. It's surprising. I mean, I come from Seattle, and even there you don't see this much. I mean, that's a Camden County sheriff. If you had watched the whole stream, you'd appreciate that there is such a small group of people that were out, and it was an organized, approved protest march originally, and basically it turned into just a handful of people in the street, and there were still hundreds of police that came out. It's crazy. They did arrest some people tonight, Christy. Yes, they arrested 3 people. Well, they arrested 2 people on the street, and then they pulled another couple people out of a van that was following everybody as they were kind of leaving the scene. So walking out in front of them. So I would say Lindsay over there. So you said 3 or 4 maybe, or Josh Nicholas. Yeah. If they had a permit, so Jerome Schaus says if they had a permit, why did it end like that? Because the permit that they had went up to 8 p.m. And at 8 p.m. they had the curfew went into play. And once that curfew hit, they said everyone has to leave. But they worded it wrong. They said you have to leave the streets. And so everyone was like, all right, cool. If you're on the sidewalk, you're good to go. And, Cheryl, I appreciate you saying that. I'm okay right now. I mean, I'm in a vehicle, and honestly, I did flash my press badge at them and at one point, and they were walking towards me and they stopped and they're like, all right, whatever. But they had some interesting tactical approaches on things they were doing here. But they ended, so they told people to get out of the street. So I went in and I tried to talk to the captain, and he was like, I'll tell you this. And right then is when I looked around the corner and I saw like all of the riot cops like walking up. Like they hadn't come into full view yet. Basically, everyone was just sitting around and they only saw a couple police, but they were staging around the corner, like probably 2 blocks down and 2 blocks, so like 4 blocks away. And he was like, I'll tell you this, you need to just leave the area unless you're on private property with a permission. And I'm tired. I'm very tired, Crystal. And I was like, all right, well, you don't know if anyone gave us permission to be on their private property. But those gentlemen I talked to at the end of the night when I was just walking by, that's where they live. So at one point I was like, well, they stopped right there, though. That's where the police line stopped, because I was just going to stand in their yard and just ask them if they were okay with it. And we'd be okay. So activist had CJ's back tonight in case he got arrested. But yet some people in this chat had nothing but bad things to say about activists and protesters. Yeah, Domingo Mallory, that's an interesting point. I think that, like I said, we see too much generalizing of people that are out as activists and protesting. And a lot of that's because we've got groups that have gone out and been wildly destructive and violent. And all that's done is made it so incredibly hard for these types of situations that are very peaceful, organized, and permitted to not have such a negative stigma laid on them, And I'm hoping that as we continue to do what we do, and as I'm able to travel the country and show you what's going on, that we're able to see more of the truth behind what major media is showcasing and what we've seen in a lot of the major cities with a lot of the like the violent and destructive protests that we see there. Sheila, I appreciate you. Thank you for saying that. So, but it's tough. It is very difficult to get people past that point because they've seen so much from the same groups of people. But this is not that group, mind you. I mean, there was a handful of people that were in block, but I mean, 4 or 5 maybe. This was not that type of march. This was very much not that. This was, like I said, community and family that were out and protest for the body cam footage we released for the family and for the community. So, so I get why people see it that way. I just hope that we can change the way people see things and appreciate that all groups can't be lumped into the same umbrella category. You know what I mean? And by that, I mean on any side, and I don't even like saying sides, in any walk of life, we spend a lot of time this last year giving people titles, right? We spent a lot of time this last year giving people some kind of operational umbrella that we can put them under so we know how to deal with them. My own mother, I had to spend a lot of time trying to coach my mother up and tell her that not every protest is a riot, because she would just say, be careful with those riots. Be careful with those riots. My mom, it's just a march. It's just a march. This is back in Seattle. And for her, everything was going to go violent. Everything for her. And I think it's just what she's seen, what she's grown up in, what she's experienced. So that being said, we've generalized people. You hear terms like patriot, and immediately people assume that you're a racist. You hear terms like Antifa, and immediately you assume anybody that affiliates himself as an anti-fascist or Antifa is going to be a destructive, violent human being, and that's not true. You know, neither one of those is true. We can't generalize people based off of a title that we choose to give them. The conversation needs to happen when you act them. Because for me, I'm a very patriotic anti-fascist. Like I said earlier, let that be the paradox. Let people be confused about that one. You know what I mean? Love you too, Monica. You and the whole Anderson crew. Love your whole family. You guys are amazing. Big shout out to the Anderson squad. That's family. What? But we've spent so much time doing that, and so it sucks because people have come to me and go, well, you're a patriot, right? And I can't even accept that title because then everybody will want to deal with me accordingly. Like, oh, now we know how to generalize you, and we're gonna go ahead and handle you the way we feel you need to be handled. And I don't like being handled, y'all. I do not like being handled. I'm gonna go ahead and do me the best way I can do me. So it's not for anyone else to define you. You know what I mean? So. And I know we have most people in here get that, you guys. Most people. I mean, we had up like 1,500 people on. We probably had close to 2,000 people tonight watching, and I hope that the general grouping of people get that. You know, they get it. You know, like, and they want to see what's happening, and they don't want to have someone tell them what's happening. They don't want to have somebody like diagnose this group. Like, I guarantee you, if there was no one else recording these situations, that the major media, and I don't want to put it all in major media, the general consensus would be that this was a riotous crowd that was out here causing chaos in the city of Elizabeth, which is, again, not Elizabethtown. I got that so confused earlier, but it's not that, you know, and there's a lot of places it's not that, you know. So Pamela says, I like being handled. Okay, then. Stay tuned. But yeah, so, you know, we just got to keep pushing, guys, pushing towards understanding and having conversations and educating ourselves openly, though, you know, organically moving towards change and moving, you know, towards progress. It's not going to happen overnight. You know, we're going to have to keep working on it. But we're doing good. I feel personally like things like today, no violence. I mean, even in what we've seen over the last year, this I feel went really well. What happened in Minneapolis, you know, verdict day, we're seeing progress. You know, there was no riots. There was nothing like what we saw during the uprising, like where there was, you know, it was city burning, you know. And so it's a beautiful thing for me to see that people are opening their eyes to the inclusive nature of how we should operate, you know. And that's how I would describe a lot of these places that I've been lately, is inclusive. The people of like Minneapolis out there, they were very inclusive. Here, very inclusive. You know, they want you to be here. They want them, other than the last guy in the house. He didn't want me there. He was pretty hammered though. I don't think he wanted to be on blast. Maybe he was afraid that he was his wife was watching. He wasn't supposed to be out drinking with his buddies. I don't know. But let's see. Yes, we are not Seattle. We do not have rioting. I would be considered a patriot, but I 100% agree. I do not fit on the I do not fit in one box. I love my community and how we usually blend together. My community has been wonderful about being respectful. Thank you for pointing out not all protests are riots, and these folks are not the same as Seattle, Minneapolis, etc. Yeah, you know, and even in those were, I mean, if you guys remember the beginning time, like the beginning days of like the Chop Chaz, and I'm gonna talk about this for a quick second. There was everyday marches, the EDM, the everyday march, and it went from the Chaz, as it was a Chaz before it became the Chop, and it made its way downtown Seattle, and then it usually ended up at the West Precinct. Well, it would go that route a couple times. Ended up on the freeway. Most notably was the 4th of July morning when DeWitt Kalite drove up the wrong way on an on-ramp and through that group on the freeway, and subsequently killing Summer, which is terrible. And I do need to follow up that case and find out what's going to happen with DeWitt Kalite. But that being said, but those marches were peaceful. They were just people marching. There was no destruction. And when it did happen, there was a couple isolated cases where a window got broke in one of the police stations, and someone was arrested immediately, pulled in. And but the group, for how large that group was not represented by that one person. But and it was handled. It was handled. But and so like, and I'm pointing out the one situation I can think of from the everyday marches. but they changed, and that's the thing is it changed. You know, the protest world changed in this last year, and places that are outside of like the major hubs are doing it different. I mean, Portland is different than Seattle, and Seattle's different than Portland, but those two places are very different from the rest of the country, from what I've experienced. You know, you see nightly standoffs with Portland protests in front of like the ICE building, and there's a fire lit or spray paint or something, and that's what happens. Then there's a standoff with the police, and it's become like a nightly thing. You know, like the guy was saying, he was part of the protest community. And by that, I mean, he was a medic. The last guy I was talking to before we started going to our cars, he's a medic for the protests. And so he's actively involved in protests around the country. And it was cool that he was just there willing to talk to me and have a conversation. And he was saying how he said he really respects the Portland protesters for staying so active. And so again, everyone's got their own viewpoint of how they see the protests, right? And they choose, you know, you see what you see. But it has changed a lot, and it's become, you know, hostile for people like myself in many situations. But that's for anybody with the camera. So, but places out here are very inclusive, and it's a beautiful place. And so, I'm not going to talk you guys' ear off because it's been a long day, and I've been traveling for the last 3 weeks almost. But I got to get some sleep too, and hydrate. I'm beat. You can see it on my face here. You know, I look like a wreck. But I got chewed up, man. The mosquitoes out here are like pterodactyls. I'm not kidding. Only other place I got mosquitoes like this was Kenosha. I'm not just monsters out there going to steal my backpack. Get a lock system on that thing. Damn, pterodactyl mosquitoes. But yeah, thank you for everybody that tuned in, everyone that's sharing the stream, that got it out there. Thank you. Again, we're full time on the stream, guys. Steph, I'll give you a shout when I get done. We're full time. This is my sole job now. So, but it's viewer funded. You know, it's viewer driven. And I work on diversifying my revenue to get, you know, sustainable. But I need you guys to be there with me. You know what I mean? I'll become a supporter. I would really appreciate that. Hop over to the supporter page. It's $4.99 a month. Cup of coffee basically is what you're buying, and that's for an entire month of supporter access, which will be supporter only streams, kind of behind the streams look at what I'm doing when I'm traveling and some of the crazy antics that I go through to make it to a place like North Carolina. Yeah, and I appreciate you guys, seriously. It feels good to know we got a community here, you know, and you guys have always been very supportive. We have folks that jump in that are maybe not so great, but Kaylee, thank you for that. I'll take a look at the citronella oil. But either way, I'm gonna work on doing more of an Andrew goodbye because he's gonna be, I'm done. Boop. But you guys are amazing, but like I said, please consider becoming a supporter. There's a link for that right there pinned on Facebook. It would mean a lot to me, and it would definitely help us moving forward to forward plan where we can go, what we can do. Give us more time to really immerse ourselves in the community that we're going to be covering the stories in, because we'll be able to do it more than just, you know, last minute travel. So thank you guys for tuning in, for sharing the stream, and for all the support, the contributions you made. Twitch, you guys over there, thank you for being so badass. The hype trains, again, so cool. YouTube, the super chats. I didn't get a chance to see that because I had to do it through a different channel, but I'm definitely going to make it a point to go back, send some shout outs to you folks for being supportive, and for the contributions and donations. Thank you very much. These travels are not cheap, but I want to give shout outs to people that support the stream, other media sources, like I said, that you guys can definitely check out to find different vantage points, different viewpoints, and different takes. PT News is another source that has a couple different people that are operating off there with varying viewpoints, and we may not agree on everything, but we can agree on the fact that there's an opportunity to source your information from different places, and I encourage anybody to do that. So shout outs to the streamers that are out there that are doing it, and that are on the grind, be it hardcore any one side, doesn't matter, you know. But if you're out there showcasing what's going on, again, you guys can always turn off the comments and the volume, so all you're watching is what's happening through the lens of a camera. We're never going to do that, right? Because we're all morbid and we all want to like hear what someone has to say and listen to those silent conversations, the conversations in the corners. but you don't have to. And again, if the comments in my chat are getting a little bit sideways, just slide to the left or slide to the right, whichever way you go. Slide to the right, turn them off. You know what I mean? And just spend some time hearing what's happening in the streets and watching it for yourself. You don't have to look. You don't have to listen to what other people say or read what other people have to say if it's not going to be something you want to like store up in your lexicon of experiences for the evening. So thank you again, guys, and I'm done. I'm going to tune out because I got to go get some sleep and some food because I'm both tired and exhausted and hungry. So I love you guys, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. So tune in. I'm going to be having a supporter-only supporter group stream tomorrow morning, early afternoon. We're going to be kind of running over some stuff and talking about the city here and kind of gearing up for the night. Yeah, come on over, become a supporter, jump in, be a part of that sub-community within this community. So now I'm going to shut up, man, because I'm sure plenty of you are like, dude, just hang up already. But love y'all. We'll see you tomorrow.